Hi, so today we're beginning our discussion of transformations. Transformations are basically taking some sort of shape and then altering it in some way, whether by moving the picture or flipping it or rotating it, making it bigger, making it smaller, all these different types of things. So for this video, we're going to focus on the first type of transformation, which is a translation. So a translation literally means to take a shape and slide it around the graph so that we have the same basic figure but in a different location. So in order to do a transformation, we need some sort of starting figure. So I'm going to need some sort of shape on the graph to use as my basis. So what I'm going to do is just sort of draw a triangle using a set of sort of random points. So let's see, just sort of pick some lines. And there's a triangle. And let's name these points. We can call one point A, one point B, and one point C. Okay, this triangle is called our pre-image. So when it asks for the pre-image, what I'm going to do is list out the 3 points that I just plotted to make my triangle. And for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to pretend that the x-axis and the y-axis start at the corner down here. So if I'm looking at A would be about 7, 3. I'm just going to note that here. Let's see, B is about 13 and 5. C is about 10 8. Alright, so the next thing it asks us for is an image. So in order to get an image, we're going to need to actually translate this figure. So we're just going to slide it somewhere along the graph. So let's figure out a place that we have some room. Let's say that I want to slide my figure over, let's say 5 spaces. Point A would go here. B would go here. And then C would go here. So if we did it correctly, our triangle should look basically the same. The only difference is that it's in a different location. So we're going to leave the names of the points the same, but we're going to add these little apostrophes on the end to indicate that this new point is the image of the original. So A prime, B prime, and C prime. So when we label out the points from our image, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to count out the locations. So this one looks like it's about 12, 3. This one is about 18 and 5. And C prime is about 15 and 8. So what did we do here? We translated our figure we moved it right, and we went 5 spaces. And so then to figure out the rule, all we're going to do is compare the starting points to the ending points and note how they changed. So the y values appear to be the same, but all of the x values are 5 points higher, or 5 spaces further along the axis. So if all of my x's got replaced with a number that's 5 bigger, we're going to say that each x turned into x plus 5, and the y stayed the same, so we will just leave that as y. And that's how we do a translation. You can also move on the y-axis, and you can move on the x and y simultaneously. So we can sort of do a lot of different things with these translations. So let's look at one where we move x and y. So I'm going to need to take my original points, so let's go back to the original a, b, and c. And so let's say we go left 4 and up 2. Okay, so that's my 3 new points. And again, we're going to keep the names A, B, and C, but this time, again, we need to mark it. And what I will do for the sake of clarity, if you're not able to copy this down in color, is I will go ahead and mark it with 2 little tick marks. It's going to look like quotes. Okay, so if we find our new points, just like we did with the red triangle, we can just count out the spaces. So it looks like the new A is located at, let's see, 3 and 5. So the new B is located at 9, 7, and point C is located at 6 and 10. So what do? We translated, this is a translation, we went left 4 and up 2. And if we look at our points and compare them to the originals, all of the x's are 4 less, and our y's are 2 more. So that is our rule. So that's all for translations. Just remember to count your number of spaces. Don't forget to account for positives and negatives. And remember to keep track of which one is your pre-image and which one is your image. And that's all we have for translations. The next one we're going to be looking at is reflections, and I will do that in another video. See you in class.